All right, so we'll start off our discussion with carbohydrates. Carbohydrates are also called sugars. So if you see sugars, they're just talking about carbohydrates. And one of the main purposes, but not the only purpose of carbohydrates, are to provide energy to the body. Right, your body is constantly burning carbohydrates to produce energy to allow you to sustain life, whether that's, keeping yourself warm, going out for a jog, or even, just taking a nap. You're still burning carbohydrates. And what's pretty cool about kind of burning carbohydrates is that our cars that we drive essentially do the same thing that our body does. Our body's a lot more complex about it, but the overall idea is kind of the same. So for example, in your car, what you do is you burn hydrocarbons. So we're just going to do it with octane, C8H18. Your car combines that with oxygen, in this case, 25 oxygen molecules, to produce carbon dioxide and water. And of course, the big thing is the energy, right? This energy then allows your car to move. So you can see it's burning hydrocarbons, combining them with oxygen to form carbon dioxide and water. What you do in your cells is you take sugars, the most popular of which is glucose, C6H12O6. This guy is glucose. You also breathe in oxygen that you combine with this glucose to produce carbon dioxide and water. And of course, some energy. So it's a really cool parallel between kind of, the thing that we use on most people use on a pretty much daily basis, and then what's going on in our body. You can tell that all of the parts are pretty much the same. Of course, then comes the question of where does this glucose come from? And you probably already know the answer to this, but it comes from plants or animals that have eaten the plants. So it still comes from plants. And plants basically do the opposite of burning these hydrocarbons. They take carbon dioxide, so in this case, 6 molecules of carbon dioxide, combine it with water, add in some energy. In this case, the energy comes from the sunlight, right? Photosynthesis to create glucose and some oxygen, right? So we basically do the opposite of what plants do. The reason that they create glucose, of course, is because the sun isn't always shining, so they need to store energy. And the reason that creating glucose is basically an energy storage, and then burning glucose releases energy, is because carbon-carbon and carbon-hydrogen bonds are higher in energy than carbon-oxygen bonds.